Hello everyone, my name is Ferry Baylon and this is College Web Media. Today, I had the pleasure of interviewing journalist Jeong Park. He is a reporter for the Los Angeles Times covering Asian American communities. His extensive career and experience in the journalism industry is such a valuable asset, and I cannot wait to share his story with all of you. I hope you enjoy. Can you share us your social media outlets where the viewers can follow you and maybe see your work as well?
Sure. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeong Park 52. I have a website, jeongparkwriter.com. That is pretty much it when it comes to my public-facing social media.
The viewers want to know like a little bit about your educational background. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I graduated from UCLA, went to work for the college paper, The Daily Bruin. I was an assistant news editor and the managing editor for the paper. And I studied political science. So,
Wow, okay. So you studied political science, but you were involved in the college paper. So how did you know that you wanted to pursue a career in the journalism industry?
I mean, ever since I grew up, I read newspaper pretty religiously. I had subscription to the LA Times that I would read through, almost every day. But it really was the work at my college paper that solidified my decision to pursue journalism as a full-time career. Um, when I was first writing stories, I really like the process of writing story. It's like assembling like a puzzle pieces together and put together a cohesive um, story. And I like that. And I like the fact that I get to interview somebody who is really interesting. I get to, take the front row seat to everything that's happening in our community. And I really like that because it, interested me, but also it made me interesting as a person. I think for those reasons, I think I decided to kind of go forward.
Is there anything that you wish you knew about the journalism industry before you actually made it as like a full-time career you're involved now?
I mean, not that I can think of. I do think that it is a difficult industry, right? The pay is low. There's a lot of people who want to get the job, and um, I am fine where I'm at now in my career trajectory, but I knew that I got lucky a lot of the time. So my experience is not necessarily fully representative of experience of the others. I guess if I wish I had known anything, it's just that yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that I interned earlier, that I saw professional opportunities earlier. I jumped into that relatively late, and I had a lot of things to thank in terms of my ability to catch up. I had an internship through Asian American Journalists Association that got me to my first and my second job, in fact. Um, but I did that in my senior year. So I kind of wish that I had done professional work a little bit earlier in my college career. So I had a better experience of what it's like to work at a professional newsroom.
Oh, okay. Now we know that you work for the Los Angeles Times right now. Can you tell me more about your work specifically with the Asian American communities that you cover?
Yeah, I started my job about a month ago, and it is covering the evolution and the dynamics of Asian American communities, going from the East Asian communities of China, Japan, Korea to South and Southeast Asians of, Pakistan, India, Philippines. There's a lot to cover, right? Because LA and Southern California, it's such a diverse place when it comes to Asian communities. And I'm trying to make my coverage and the Times coverage more reflective of that. By bringing voices from not just traditional, more East Asian communities to more of a, diversity of Asian communities from the South, Southeast Asia, and beyond, Pacific Islanders as well. So that's what I'm hoping to do.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think representation of all Asians is very, very important. Um, what was one story that had a lasting impact on you, and how did it change your view in your career now?
I don't know if I had like a one specific story, really. I mean, I had a lot of memorable story that I wrote, so it's hard to pick one. I will say I didn't write a story, but I after the shooting of I believe 6 Asian women in Atlanta last year, I compiled a tweet thread that aggregated a lot of reporting from the Korean and Asian media that reported on the event, which showed a bit of a different view and different version of the event than the mainstream media did. And it changed how I looked at my career, because I work for the mainstream media, big and small. And I recognized, I mean, I had always recognized the power of ethnic media, but that really showed me what we as a reporter in the mainstream media need to do better, and how we need to do a better job of reaching out to the community and hearing from their voice, and putting them in our mind, and sometimes even at the center of our coverage. I think there was a lot of frustration that people have had after the immediate aftermath of the shooting last year, about just the mainstream media's failure to recognize what happened, and why the shooting happened. So I think just recognizing that and trying to improve upon that in my role, and trying to push my industry to do better in that sense. That's what I'm trying to do in my job. So in that sense, I think that story affected what I do quite a bit.
When Jeong and Ferry return, Ferry asks Jeong, "What do you see as the future of journalism?" This is brought to you by College Web Mentor. Sign up now to receive more video interviews like this one at collegewebmentor.com.
Whether you're deciding on a major, wondering how to network effectively, or planning your career, College Web Mentor offers a range of tools and services to help you succeed.
So in that regards, how and what do you see in the future for journalism?
I am optimistic. There are several new and interesting initiatives happening in journalism. There are more people of color entering the industry, and they still face a lot of difficulties, right? Low pay, bad working condition, long hours. But I do see a lot of people pushing for the industry to change, and I really appreciate that, because that wasn't necessarily the case, decades ago, right? When a lot of people were, white male, and the coverage was very centric to white male. I think there is a lot of recognition of the flaws of that, and I'm very optimistic about people recognizing the issue and people pushing to change that issue. So I am hopeful. We have long ways to go, I think, but hopefully in 5-10 years down the road, journalism looks very different from what it was 10 years ago or even now.
And to, I guess, wrap this interview up, what advice can you give to college students pursuing a career in the journalism industry?
I mean, as I said earlier, just kind of start applying to things early, start looking for professional opportunities early. You do want to have a lot of clips or a lot of ways that you can show your work. So, I think getting your basics done, ensuring that you have the basics done, is really helpful. You can do, and you should try to do, one big project that you can remember for the rest of your career. But you also should, try to write on a regular basis, maybe every month or every couple of weeks, just to because you learn by doing, right? And you acquire skills by doing. So, and what's the best way to do journalism, other than to write a story, right? So that's what I would probably say.